Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Doppler'S Gear Garage. How are you? Well, it's a pleasure to be here this Saturday morning. This is going to be a short show because I'm actually working on finishing the demo for this lovely bass preamp. But I figured I wouldn't just kind of not show up and I wasn't going to just put up a little post. I wanted to show my love and respect for you by being here for a couple minutes. And I want to give you kind of a little download that I think is going to be super, super valuable. Chris Alexander, always a pleasure. Thank you so much. So here's the thing. Regardless, I realize this is a funny looking guitar. It is a bass guitar, but it could be any stringed instrument with normal frets. So as long as it's not those kind of crazy guys from Canada that are playing those microtonal instruments. I don't know how to pronounce the name of that band, but they are very cool and very groovy. One of the most important things that guitar players get sold short on, besides rhythm, which we'll cover in a future episode, is notes. When we first learn the pentatonic, almost all of us, we staple the shape of the minor pentatonic to some note on the low E string. And for the most part, that is kind of our awareness about scales. We think about them as shapes. We don't think about them harmonically per se. We don't think about them intervallically, going a little further down the harmonic end of things. We don't think about what scale degree numbers they are in terms of their formula. We don't think about what note names those translate to. And if we kind of had to play piano and read all that stuff, we would actually know all that stuff. We're going da 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 da. Yes, Chris, the lunatic within is still going to be teaching guitar lessons today because that's what we do. With a little caffeine, ease things along. Plus, I wouldn't want to miss the inspiration of working with people that I love dearly. So this is the thing, is that I want to encourage and hopefully inspire you to look at the neck. Peter Daviduck, look at this. I hold the bass and you appear. Hello, my dear friend. Pleasure. In fact, you're in on the jam as well. So the deal is, most of us, if we think about a little kind of a triad shape, actually, I guess that's a dyad because I'm doubling. There we go. So that's, root, fifth, third. Awesome. And Peter, just in case you're tuning in, this is going to be a short show because I'm wrapping up. Oh, there we go. The Subway Plus DI Preamp 2. This thing is phenomenal. Sub $200 MAP US. You are going to love it. Sounds like a McDonald's commercial. Okay, so the thing is as follows. If you were to kind of take the basis of the major scale for the key of C and just kind of go, that would be C, hold the D. I realize because I'm coming through the speakers here, it's going to sound like la poo poo through that. So that should be sufficient volume. But that would be C, hold the D, hold the E, half to F, hold the G, hold the A. And if we kept going, hold the B, half to C. And if you were to kind of slice and dice the neck into the first 12 frets, where besides kind of the wheelie stuff that happens up here, so much of what we do happens down here. So let's just imagine I'm not playing a bass here. It's a 6-string instrument or a 7-string instrument or whatever. The ability to start off on each string E, half to F, hold a G, hold a A, hold a B, half to C, hold a D, hold E, E, hold a D, hold a C, half to B, hold a A, hold a G, hold a F, half to E. And in turn getting rid of the holes and the halves to just E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, E, D, C, B, A, G, F, E. Why does this matter? Because if you know that the A minor pentatonic scale is A, C, D, E, G, A, and you can kind of see the intersection of this string and this string and this string and this string playing this A, that C, that D, that E, that G, that A, that C, and that D, instead of just playing a minor pentatonic shape, you're actually playing the notes of the scale. And it means, for example, If I'm going to go G-A-C-A, I can probably find somewhere else to go G-A-C-A, or I can go G-A-C-A, 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 and you can take the sound of that, and instead of just being limited by the shape and running around playing the same shape over and over and wondering why it doesn't get any more inspiring the millionth and first time than it was the millionth time, well, now you know. And so this is true of the modes, this is true of the pentatonic, it's true of anything. And the great thing is that, you know, for those of us that endeavor to dyadicide, by the way, you can put the proper spelling for dyad down in the comments. It's a pop quiz. So, waiting. So the deal is that I'm actually now in the key of G. So if you can navigate the key of C and notice all the natural notes, the key of G has one sharp, it's F sharp. So the idea is basically what I'm doing is I'm going G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. And on this string, I'm taking those same notes, but I'm starting at B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B. And if we play the G and the B, and the A and the C, and the B and the D, and the C and the E, and the D and the F sharp, and the E and the G, and the F sharp and the A, and the G and the B, and literally seeing where those notes are, instead of just cutting and pasting shapes, or playing it just by ear, there's nothing wrong with that. We're actually going, hey, there's my G, there's my A, there's my B, there's my C, there's my D, so on and so forth. When you're able to see the notes on the neck like that, and in turn starting off with the natural note names, and then building upon that, adding the flats and the sharps for whatever key it's going to be, your connection with the instrument in terms of being able to, for example, I'm going to play a Aww, give that little dog a pet. Congratulations, Jim. Hey, by the way, what's happening with that Marshall amp and making loud a little less loud? Inquiring minds want to know. All right, so the deal is this shape and this shape intersect. But if we don't have a framework to kind of go, I guess that was A, C, D, E, G, A, C, D, and that was A, E, A, C. Oh, snap. I can see how they relate. So the idea is over this chord, I can resolve to that A, that E, that A, tension, resolution when I go to the C. And so when we know how the notes are functioning in a key, it really makes life much easier. Let me say hello to a couple of good folks here. TJ, good morning to you. How goes it, my friend? Hope you're having a great day. This is going to be an extra short show. I've got this bass preamp video that I'm working in the process of wrapping. I've been up all night working. And so I've got a little bit of more working to do before I start teaching for the day. In any case, great to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Doug DeJong, what's going on, my friend? Had so much fun. Oh, there we go. Speaking my love language. That is correct. So I always thought it was D-I-A-D, because triad is T-R-I-A-D, but dyad, for whatever reason, is D-Y-A-D. Who'd have thought it? In any case, Doug and I had the privilege of having one of the funnest jams ever at NAMM, an obscene volume at like 2 a.m. at one of those crazy NAMM jams. And we had so much fun hanging out shoulder to shoulder. That was a ton of fun. Great to see you, my friend. All right. So look, I got 4 minutes before I got to jet out of here. So let me just kind of continue down this thought here. As guitar players, we are constantly stuck playing the same shapes over and over. And there is a lot to be said about knowing shapes. That's a big part of how we learn how to play the instrument. But the problem is, if we just see things from a perspective of shapes, when we look at the neck, instead of kind of going, all right, somebody give me a note name. You're epic. Somebody give me a note name. How about a little participation here? Somebody give me a note name. Hey, Dennis, how are you, my friend? And again, my apologies. Today is going to be a short little session here. We got about 3 minutes more, and I got to get back to work on this. But I want to leave you with something tasty. How about a note name? Anybody? Come on. I dare you. And I want that bass. What's going on, Headstock Harem? Hello, hello, hello. Pleasure to see you, my friend. All right, there we go. Oh, G sharp. Oh, you are just... Well, okay, first of all, G sharp. I'm really glad you said that. So, what are the rules around you can or you can't with note names? So the thing about G major is the seventh tone is G, hold the A, hold the B, have the C, hold the D, hold the E, hold the F sharp. G sharp major would have a double sharp there because G major has an F sharp. And so you can't have a double sharp, which is why it would be the key of A flat. So these are the things that, again, kind of being able to kind of go piece by piece. B, all right, thank you very much. Something a little more civilized. But Chris, I'm really glad you suggested that. That is very important to keep in mind. So the great thing about B is that it's a not super friendly key. However, if we go B, hold a C sharp, hold a D sharp, half to E, hold a F sharp, hold a G sharp, hold a A sharp, half to B. We at least can kind of go, okay, fine. B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B. And then we kind of begin to go, there's an awful lot of sharp going on here. So besides B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp. So the only natural notes are B and E. Then you can just kind of go, well, everything else is a sharp. It kind of almost makes it easy. That is to say, if we were to go, right, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, B, A sharp, G sharp, F sharp, E, D sharp, C sharp, B. So this is where beginning to kind of put these things together matters. So, if we're in the key of B, going a step further, so if I were to harmonize the key of B and take the 1, 5 and the 3, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp. F sharp is my 3, 1, 5. Oh, sorry, my 5, 1, 5, and that's going to be the 3. That B, C sharp, D sharp up there. So that is going to be B, F sharp, D sharp. And then we start to kind of have these little note games that inspire us to go a little bit further because then we start seeing things deeper than the shapes. All right, getting close to when I unfortunately need to jump, and I feel really badly about the fact that you guys took time out of your Saturday, and I gotta go to work, but I have some responsibilities that I didn't quite get as much done between yesterday and today as I wanted to. So here is the thing. I would suggest starting off just with the natural notes. And again, that's going to be C, hold the D, hold the E, have to F, hold the G, hold the A, hold the B, have to C. And just going up and down each string, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, E, D, C, B, A, G, F, E, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, G, F, E, D, C, B, A, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, D, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, G, F, E, D, C, B, A, G. And so you can actually see those notes on the neck. And it's a great place to start because it will change the way you think about playing the instrument because rather than just, again, playing the same patterns in, I don't know, A, E, and A and E over and over, we can begin to play in keys like B and not kind of going, holy flippin' cow. And we have ways to be able to digest this. And so very succinctly, I think we've talked about this before in one of the Steve I, Joe Satriani stories. Awesome. Thanks, Jim. He talks about, hey, Eric, I still owe you that care package. I'm sorry. It's been a little busy. Good morning. Talked about, he said, Steve, all right, play me F sharp. And Steve was kind of like, and, why F sharp? Well, if you think about the key of C major and you go through the circle of fifths, C, D, E, F, G. I guess that gets us to G major, which is the first key with a sharp, which, wait for it, that sharp is going to be F sharp. So chances are, and I have yet to ask Mr. Satriani about this, but I will. So Joe, why F sharp? And he sometimes he's a little sarcastic in a non-mean way, and but the reality is that I'm 99% positive because that's the first key G that has a sharp in it. If you don't know where the F sharp is, then navigating B compared to the key of G is going to get considerably more difficult. However, as we embrace that knowledge, one last thing that I want to share with you is important and incredibly true. I have to install a water softener. I love that. Um, uh, I've been having a water softener too. Oh, you know what? We can have a little bit of tradition here. Hang on a second. Just because I got stuff to do doesn't mean that we can't raise them up. Thank you to each and every one of you. Much love and respect, and a little caffeine. But the deal is, the last thing I want to leave you with, we're going to take the key of C major, and we're going to work on the triads such that you can take my word for that. That was C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, and C major, whose notes are C, E, G, D, F, A, E, G, B, F, A, C, G, B, D, A, C, B, D, F, C, E, G, C, E, G, B, D, F, A, C, G, B, D, F, A, C, E, G, B, D, F, A, C, E, G. And the way you learn how to be able to do that is C, skip D, go to E, skip F, go to G, C, E, G, D, E, F, G, A, D, F, A. Don't do this walking down the street. People will think you're E, F, G, A, B, E, G, B, F, G, A, B, C, F, A, C, G, A, B, C, D, G, B, D, A, C, A, B, C, D, E, A, C, E, B, C, D, E, F, B, D, F, and C, D, E, F, G, C, E, G. And collectively, that's going to help you get comfortable with C, E, G, D, F, A, E, G, B, F, A, C, G, B, D, A, C, E, B, D, F, C, E, G. And the great thing about that is those triad note groups never change. They are always the 1, 3, and 5, hence why I'm kind of having you tap each one of those fingers you're tapping. Oh, there's my 1, there's my 3, and my 5. Got it. So guess what? Getting back to Mr. Vi, if we're in the key of G major, the note names stay the same. We just add a, wait for it, that's right, an F sharp. G, B, D, A, C, E, B, D, F sharp, C, E, G, D, F sharp, A, E, G, B, F sharp, A, C, G, B, D, so on and so forth. All right, I would love to hang out with you for the next 2 or 3 hours because that would be an awful lot of fun, but I have some stuff I need to take care of. My sincere and humble apologies that those of you that made time out of your Saturday or are making time out of your Saturday, I can't be of more service to you because this matters to me. I love doing this. I love the friendships and the kinship and the guitar community. I'm a privileged person to be part of, and I just want to say thank you. I need to roll, but I hope that was helpful. I wanted to kind of impart something such that it made worth your time to be here today. I will be here next Saturday, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and looking forward to it. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Have a lovely, lovely weekend. I will see you next Saturday. Thanks again. Cheers for now. Bye. Thanks, Chris.